We are all interested in the future, for that is where you and I are going to spend the rest of our lives. I was 40 when I first heard about quantum entanglement. Two particles, separated by vast distances, are able to behave as a single entity and break the rules of Minkowski's space-time. Both instantly react to something that happens to one of them, as if they knew everything about each other. That's physics. But on the human level, I was never able to decide if it exists. It's like looking towards the sun on a cloudy day. You know it should be there, but you cannot see it. You just have to believe. Me? I was never a believer. They told me on my very first day that the catastrophe was coming. We thought we had billions of years. We actually had a lot less. With this information, I was introduced into Institute B61 as the last man. So, here I am, on this small island, somewhere in the Midwest part of the ocean. The Institute headquarters was set up here, just a mile away, inside the volcano crater. Its structure was based on the theory of gravitational lensing in Einstein's cross-disciplinary knowledge transfer. As the catastrophe was inevitable, the Institute decided to send a signal, and in it, notes of a bygone civilization. I have a blurry recollection of those days. It's as if we were all daydreaming. Our days might have been counted already, but you couldn't tell us that. During the day, my colleagues would be exploring the bottom of the volcano. In the nighttime, they were testing various models of the evolution of the stars. They worked with red giants, white dwarfs, binary systems, supernovas. I looked at their work with admiration, but it only reminded me that I felt more as a passive observer. It's intriguing, but it seems I was always the last man out there. Some of the night activities would put us in a trance. The final night was not an exception. Let me quote my mentor, Professor Brewster. All you need to know is there are more stars in the universe than the grains of sand on Earth. In the end, it's not that hard to build a star. When the conditions in the core are right, a lot of density and temperature, nuclear fusion begins. It should take billions of years for a star like your sun to become a weak and fragile red giant.
Przepuściłem majątek w tanim barze nad rzeką. księżyc, na to nic. Wędrowałem po świecie pod anioła opieką. Tak bardzo chciałem żyć. Zakochałem się chyba w pewnej pani z tramwaju. Rzekłem jej, spotkamy się. Nie przyszła, tylko sen odwiedził mnie. Szkoda straconych chwil, jak wierszy niedokończonych. W szufladzie na samym dnie wspominam czas już miniony.
Talking about your sun, planetary nebula is a short-term object lit from the inside by the naked core of what used to be a small star. Even though I wasn't allowed, I would often eat the nebulae right after the main experiment. The leftover of a planetary nebula is the naked core of what used to be a star called the white dwarf. For billions of years, this strange leftover emits thermal energy accumulated in previous stages while being impossible to grasp with human senses. But not all stars are so easy to grow. The heavier ones were the supernovas. I love to explode them just after their red giant stage. Our star was around 8 times heavier than your sun. After the explosion, it was supposed to create a neutron star that would rotate with huge velocity in a dispassionate, eternal movement, in a strange way related to our theoretical model. We would gather to observe the unequal fight between the doomed electrons and protons. And then we all fell asleep. That was the last night of Institut B61. Because the last day always comes, no matter if it is for us or for stars. At least the yellow suitcase was packed. When the explosion came, it was ready to go into a galaxy region that would give chances of developing a civilization capable of reading the message. If you are able to hear me today, it means that the complicated operation did work out. All the heavy particles that run through your veins come from stars like ours. Some came from us, a few maybe from me. This is why I am a part of your story, and you are a part of mine. This is the entanglement I do believe in. That was my role at Institut B61, to become connected with you.